Set 1 hour countdown.
Okay, it's set, and the suspense is killing me.
Hey everyone! Welcome to another podcast. As you just heard by our lovely British Siri, we've got an hour's time frame. Why, you ask? Well, because I've got a lot of shit to do. We're actually recording this 1 week earlier than we normally would, so this is
Owen's fault.
it's a rushed. I wouldn't say rushed. It's a trimmed podcast. So if you're expecting Master Debater, it's out of here. What other features do we have? I don't know. But there's a lot of things that are cut.
We have things that you will not hear. I don't know if you can tell, but Owen and I are actually talking 15% faster than usual.
So I just want to apologize for that, and I will quickly say, get involved with the podcast. Email us at contact.
Contact. Quickly. You don't have to be quick. Always, you can contact us at Wave of Absurdity at Hotmail. God damn it!
All right.
You just come in with the email thing.
As always, you can email us. Get involved with the show. Just contact at waveofabsurdity.com. And
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. I have to interrupt you because I'm in a special scenario here. I am home alone. I know this excites you.
Start setting traps for the would-be burglars that are going to come in your home.
Yeah, I don't have, unfortunately, a manly itinerary for this weekend, and I realize that whenever the missus is away for a while, that her hair is always here to remind me.
It's a nice memento.
It is, well, it's a sensation, and I think a lot of people are on board with it. Maybe not with hair, but perhaps with hot gooey cheese on a pizza or something. Have you ever had a hair... All right, so she's gone. I could start baking something tonight and, pop it out, have a big bite of it. There will be a long hair of hers attached to it. And I won't notice till half of it's in my fucking esophagus and the other is still on my tongue. Have you ever had that happen with, like, hot cheese?
Yeah, I've had like spaghetti. It's
Yeah,
been in
okay,
there.
yeah. So there's that sensation where you're not sure, do I let it go down? Should I try pulling it up? That's,
Yeah, you always pull it out.
Do you? Sometimes I try to flex it down, just because I feel like I should.
Why?
Because I should have that type of control over my
But hair
body.
doesn't digest in your stomach. It's just going to be like a cat's fur ball in there.
Well, not with the hair. I'm just saying that's going to be the...
Yeah, but how much hair have you eaten in your life,
Well, enough. I've been with her for a very long time, and she's always had long hair, and it's always been like...
It's like 20 years or so that's like 20 years of hair eating.
Well,
so I'm sure
right.
you got like a golf-sized ball of hair in there.
I'm going to say, at least once every 2 months. I have no idea if that's conservative or not, but in my head, okay, you know what? No more than 3 a year. How about that? So, all right, automatically that's at least 30 hairs. But it's longer than 10 years, so we're going to go with 40 as a baseline of...
Why are you eating your wife's hair? I don't understand why you just
makes me feel so close. No, it's not voluntary. Although maybe I should start eating her nail clippings too, and then I will be a part of her, and she will be a part of me. Honey, come look at my poo.
Do you get freaked out?
Less so as the years go on. At least I know where her hair's been. She takes very good care of her hair.
So do you have the same dilemma when you're at like a restaurant or a fast food place and you feel some hair in your mouth? Do you just try and swallow that as well?
Well, no. I tend to need to know, I don't want to just swallow it without knowing what it is. If I can pull it out far enough to see, then all right, that's her hair. But if it's like this huge blonde hair, oh shit, she's going to be upset if I start eating another chick's hair. No, I don't order it when we're out. No. Okay.
But I don't... I don't understand why you just wouldn't, like, get it out to begin with.
Well, all right, how about
Like,
this?
you gotta make it a
it's less
mission.
of a gaggy affair, okay? If you just let it go down. If you've been in the cheese scenario, you know that pulling it out, it's kind of a gross thing. If you're trying to impress somebody.
Oh, as opposed to eating hair. Who are you trying to
fucking
impress?
ectoplasm out of your throat is not
Who
the
are you
way. What?
What scenario was that ever going to happen? That you're trying to impress someone as you're eating stringy, gooey, hairy cheese?
All right, not trying to impress them, but trying hard not to unimpress them.
Well, why don't you just go into another room?
What, holding a piece of pizza that's connected to something in your gut by a long strand of cheese or hair?
You cut the cheese.
Well, oh, yeah, let me just whip out my scissors.
No, you get your finger around the cheese and you just wind.
Oh, well, look at Mr. reacts to his cheesy scenarios with such dedication and preparation. We're all not like you. Christ, you upset me. You're hurting my Home Alone feelings.
All right, if you took an x-ray of my stomach, you would see nothing. There'd be no hairs in there. It'd be pristine. You look at yours, there's pubes and all sorts down there.
Who said pubes? Christ, you finger somebody in one private video. He gets all, oh, you've got other people's pubes in your stomach. Speaking of other people, OPP. You down with OPP? Other people's, what's something to do with vocals or recordings that starts with P? Other people's programming, no, other people's
Pronunciations.
Other people's pronunciations. OPR. You down with other people recording?
That was a smooth segue, if ever I had one.
Yeah, words,
This
baby.
is the part of the show where you actually get to be involved. Sure, you can email us, but what's better than getting involved with your own voice, which you could do at Vocaroo.com. You don't need any third-party things. If you've got a microphone, you just go to the site, click record, send us the link, job's done. It's easy as that. It's easy as eating hairy cheese.
I never said the two were combined. Interesting.
So we've got two, and I say two. It's more one, and one that we're going to be playing but not accepting in the future, and that's text-to-speak programs. We would rather use your voice than a computer, but since we didn't stipulate any rules beforehand, we're going to let this one slide. So let's play the joke that a computer has to tell us.
What did the man get when rubbing a genie's magic lamp? To spend the rest of his life in the psychiatric ward for severe schizophrenia.
Well, that was an anti-joke if ever I had one.
Oh, no reason to sound so bent out of shape, even though, robots are pretty cool in my book. I don't know why we're not accepting emails from the robot population. Take it up with Owen.
They're not demographic. All right, I don't care. We're moving on to the very first history in the making right here. The very first Vocaroo by Monique.
None other than.
Oh, exactly. We used to have lots of regular email errors, but a lot of them have dropped off, but Monique has been there, and she's at the forefront now with Vocaroo. So big props to Monique for taking the plunge and being the first one to do it. We're not so bad, it's not so scary.
Yeah. Please,
And,
everybody turn down your audio. Give your full audio attention right here.
Take it away, Monique.
This is a poem that I discovered in my AP English class. It's called Richard Cory by Edwin Arlington Robinson. I really enjoyed it, so here we go. Whenever Richard Cory went downtown, we people on the pavement looked at him. He was a gentleman from soul to crown, clean-favored and imperially slim. And he was always quietly arrayed, and he was always human when he talked, but still he fluttered pulses when he said, good morning, and he glittered when he walked. And he was rich, yes, richer than a king, and admirably schooled in every grace. In fine, we thought that he was everything, to make us wish that we were in his place. So on we worked, and waited for the light, and went without the meat, and cursed the bread, and Richard Cory, one calm summer night, went home and put a bullet through his head.
Well, that was certainly an unexpected ending.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Unfortunately, I hate that shit. I hate that make you think shit. But no, I get the gist of the poem. Hey, look at that guy. He's got it going on. He's got everything. Ah. Does it remind you of anyone in particular?
You?
Why me?
I don't know. You look like you got everything going on.
Oh, well, thanks.
Popping boners in the back of pickup.
That was a
and
long
whatnot.
time ago. I'm not allowed to
Stealing
do that.
From kids and whatnot. I think you've.
When
you've
did
got
I
it all
steal
going
from
on.
kids?
You've done it all. So, I don't know. I don't think there's.
Well, I meant more the star caliber. Robin Williams. Very recognizable.
Ah.
Lots of. Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there because I know that's who you were thinking of. All right. Well, let's not sully the fact that Monique sent us
It's
something.
already sullied.
Well, it's because you already brought it up. Editing-wise, people won't know this.
How
but
did I bring it
You've
up?
been all Robin Williams this and Robin Williams that. I get it, but it's over with. A rather biting way to have his memory in our podcast. Thanks, Monique. That's all right. We do not believe that was your intent, to make Owen upset. So, we will obviously be in tune for other emails that contain Vocaroos. Monique, again, thank you. Let us, if you're in the emailing mood, perhaps you can chime in on this matter. Owen thinks
Okay.
I'm a freak for this, but before we hit an email, I just want to ask if anybody likes their pastries, their confectionaries, your little cakes, your Twinkies, your Sara Lee's. What are some British versions? Your little crumpets.
Oh.
Well, whatever you have in Hobbitville or whatever. Does anybody out there like them cold? When I was growing up, I had a friend that he always froze them. His neighbor worked for Hostess or whatever, drove a cupcake truck, delivered cupcakes. So they always had cupcakes. Very obese, died as a shame. But they always had cupcakes. And
You made me laugh at a dead man.
we just loved them cold. Cupcakes, not the dead people. I don't want you to get Owen's words confused with mine. They are delicious when they are almost frozen. Anything that's cream-filled, I don't know, something about the texture that adds to the taste. So, let us know. Let us know. I need to know, more than I need to know, about some weird tentacle raping thing that I saw at a play. I need to know if you've had any sort of cakes at a near freezing temperature because you feel they're better. Contact
Nobody does that.
at Wave. People do it. I'm telling you.
Who has the time to do that?
I'm going to have to get separate testimonials. I feel that the pod, while it reaches a certain viewership, might not expand enough to include the people that enjoy cold pastries.
Because there's none out there.
So we did get an email that I feel, Owen, we should address, if you will.
Sure.
I'd like to point out that robot Vocaroo was from Owen Schmoen.
Thanks, Owen.
Owen Schmoen. Oh, actually, we did receive one. This is from Mr. Blobby. Hey, hi, I am Joe. I've listened to this podcast for years and have a problem which I will say later. Firstly, I want to congratulate Owen for not mentioning Hitler in a while because we all know that is what Phil is. Hitler! Anyway, I can't access the Facebook probably because I got banned when I was hacked. I will trust Owen because Phil is Hitler and Hitler cannot be trusted. Also, Owen will love some of my stuff and will probably congratulate me on my porn findings and lube ideas. I'm willing to bet that means he's going to trust you with the suitcase of secrets.
Yeah, it's pronunciation. Grammar is what I'm trying to get at. Goes a long way. And Yeah, this email doesn't really have it. But
It's kind of a drunken...
well, what I like is that he says, I have a problem which I will say later. Never mentions it again.
I know, well, maybe his problem is either that I am Hitler or that he's upset that he has to trust you, which can be a big problem for a lot of people.
Mr. Blobby, you left it very ambiguous.
Hey, I expect that from Mr. Blobby. We appreciate your email. Also got one from our Russian friend from Steam. Not sure who that is because he also asks for my Steam. So your Russian friend from Steam, Owen, he also has a specific question for you.
Oh.
Hey, Owen and Phil, I love your podcast. Thank you. And I was wondering if you guys were ever thinking of doing a slightly longer podcast. Well, hope you're not listening to this one. And it would be great if we could somehow have a rough schedule. We are, in fact, giving you this podcast now in its rough format of one every 2 weeks. This is in that contract. Okay, he goes on, but I perfectly understand that you guys are busy people and may not be able or willing to do a longer podcast or make a schedule. Well, anyways, my craft dinner is almost cooked, and can Owen solve the great Pinuscus debate? What?
So I googled that and it actually showed one result, which led me to a 404.
I got a YouTube video.
So I have no idea what that is.
I got a YouTube video of young ladies dancing provocatively. Yeah, Pinuscus. It's one channel, one video. It's like two teenage girls doing a little montage of pictures and salacious dancing. And I know people out there don't like that sort of thing, so I highly suggest you avoid it.
Yes, do not search that out. I think as far as the scheduling goes, Season 3, are we in 3?
We're still in 3.
I mean, for the iTunes people, this is just numbered as is. But we got such a backward system. But anyway, this year's set of podcasts is so backwards because we started in January.
Well,
and we were supposed to stop like 3 or 4 months ago.
Look.
But we never got all the episodes out, and now we're fiddling. But hopefully, if we get to a Season 4, it'll be more planned out. But unfortunately, somebody was very irresponsible. And because we had a lot of backup podcasts, not saying who, but it wasn't me.
Let's get into some news.
Yeah, well, we got more emails.
Okay, from who? I read the 2 other ones.
We got one from Monique.
Yes, but we also, I'm sure Monique would understand if we don't spend that much time on Monique.
Happy anniversary.
Sorry, Monique.
My favorite moments from this amazing podcast is Assassination. Agrees with you, and I hope you all enjoyed listening to that again.
Yes, nice touch.
Last week. And the sperm roleplay, which of course was very unexpected.
Crowd favorite.
It's one of my favorites. That and us roleplaying as in a sex convention and you sticking a watermelon up your rectum.
Not as fond a memory for me.
She goes on to say about the news feature. Yes, keep it. That's where I had to read, and 20 is all I'm going to say. I really enjoyed it. I also thought that the P article was fake, so even the listeners are calling you out.
Yeah, everybody's got my ticket.
You're terrible.
Well, thank you, Monique. I'm sure you'll understand if we don't read out your entire email as well.
Thanks for reading the compliments out loud. I can't believe you guys actually read everything. And Phil, is there something you're trying to tell us? Is your life of a wife and son living in a suburban neighborhood just a facade?
No.
Why so many birthdays and identities?
Nice.
I think you're not who you say you are. What kind of surname is Skimbosh anyway?
It's Italian, from Abruzzi.
Once again, another fantastic podcast. Keep
Whoa! You skipped the part.
Get well, Phil.
Where she
Until
said,
the next one comes out,
just kidding.
I'll be losing my social life to AP classes and Sims 4. Woohoo. You should make Phil and I in a Sims 4 and see how it turns out. You ever do that? I think I talked about this before. Like on the Sims games, I'll make my enemies and I'll make them fall in love with me. It's like a big fuck you, and I'll like send them a message or a video of them like making out or woohooing somewhere.
Whoa.
It's just like,
careful.
You may hate me in real life, but look at us.
In Canada, you could get arrested for rape if you do that.
What?
Didn't I send you a link via Facebook about, there was this huge article, this video, some Canadian news station that is hanging out in game stores, and they're saying that if you mod, they were showing a bunch of Grand Theft Auto 5 mods where people were shooting other people in the dick or just humping other people or having dogs. They're pretty much saying virtual sexual assault requires the same type of manpower as real sexual assault.
What?
Yeah, they were calling people that do mods
no.
hackers. The hackers will they'll hack your programs and they'll do rapes.
It's the 4chans.
You get hacked into rapes. So they were just throwing out hack and rapes. Hello, this is our article. Hack, rape, hack, rape.
So would you be annoyed if I made you woohoo with me?
As long as you got the proportions correct. I don't want to be misrepresented in your little... I know hobbits have a different height, kind of everything smaller.
I don't know what kind of Lord of the Rings fantasy you've got going on about where I live. Just because I mentioned cobble roads one time.
You live in the fucking
medieval...
Shires.
I'm talking to you through the internet.
Yeah,
all right. That backwards.
Look, that shit's everywhere. I'm not saying that you don't live in some Hobbit-esque.
I hate you.
Oh, look at this paved roads.
What kind of accent are you doing there, Phil?
Hobbit. Oh, Christ. I need to tell you some news.
I would love to listen to some news.
News! Efren Carrillo, a member of the Board of Supervisors of California's Sonoma County, was charged with misdemeanor peeking, that's in quotes, last year in Santa Rosa after he, returning home from a club late at night, saw his female neighbor's light on and decided to drop in on her, although he did not even know her name. He had knocked at her back patio door, carrying beers, but was dressed awkwardly, according to this article. The woman... Oh, that's what the woman said when she called 911, that the man was dressed awkwardly. In retrospect, the county supervisor told police afterwards, "I should have had my pants on."
This sounds really familiar. I think you told this last podcast.
Wasn't in the podcast. I told it to you after the podcast.
Carry on.
Well, you kind of managed to kill the timing of the "I should have had my pants on." So, how about I have another news article. What about you? Fucking Christ.
Oh, I didn't find any.
Oh, well. I have... Oh, wait. Why did I say that? I have another news article for you here. This is the definition of absurd. And it's titled, "The Boy Who Wasn't Bullied Enough in School."
Were you bullied? I mean, I know you chop people's fingers off at school, but, as a younger age, were you bullied? Did the kids pick on you for being, a nerd? I mean, I'm sure once they saw how weak you were with your upper body strength, that you were just fair game, really.
Before puberty, I really didn't have a whirl. I didn't have a care.
I can imagine you, even as a kid, just like without a care in the world, just frolicking through a field of daisies.
It kind of was like that, without getting into too much details how things were up and down in my life. But yeah, for the most part, until 13, 14, things were like that. And by the time bullying happened, it lasted, to answer your question, for a short while, I was bullied. But
do you remember their names?
Generic. Yeah. I think I might have told you in a story, Chris, because you were all like, "What are you worried about? Did you think they're going to be listening to the podcast?" He spit on my sweater at the school dance. I mean, like, the rudest thing you could do. And I was all like, stop laughing. I was on the verge of tears. It's the ultimate, like, he was just like, I think he called me a faggot or a gay. Well, because, you know, homosexuality, that was the insult at the time.
I just see you there, just with a big glob of just spit
And it
just
was
on your chest. Faggot, get out of here.
It was a big, blue, frumpy, 80s, fuzzy disco club sweater. Like, oh, isn't it cute that the kids wear this? Yeah, Chris Kelly.
All over.
Chris Kelly, that's his full name. I don't think I could think of it or was afraid at the time. Yeah, I remember that well because Dwayne, who was a bigger dude and who I always considered, while not a bully, he was, you know, might as well because he was indifferent to the bullying, but I guess he had enough and he fucking pushed Chris pretty hard, knocked him over, and was just complaining in general about how just spitting on somebody for no reason is not cool. And I was like, yeah.
Take that.
Yeah.
So you had to rely on other people to help you.
Well, later I got Chris Kelly back. Twice. Once, about a year from that incident. And then when I saw him at senior week at the shore.
What happened?
People weren't expecting me is what happened. Dun, dun, dun! Sorry, I'm a little uncomfortable with that point in my life. I shouldn't have made that little theme song there. We shall just move on. Maybe some other time, but especially after you said you think I'm a nice guy or whatever. I don't want to highlight the cock years of my life. Sorry, Chris. Sorry about that.
He's not sorry.
No, I'm really not. So, Walker Hardin, 19, a sophomore at the University of North Carolina School of the Arts, was recognized in April for a Guinness Book record for the highest note ever whistled, B7. Hardin, who told the News and Observer that he has irritated his parents and friends for years, admits that he whistles all the time, up to 4 or 5 hours a day.
Jesus.
If ever there was an appropriate title, the boy who wasn't bullied enough in school. Imagine, I can't think of growing up with somebody that, without having protection, would be able to whistle 4 or 5 hours a day.
It's just like, how long do you really have to love someone before you just... You know, just...
Fuck you! Shut the fuck up, I'll fucking
exactly.
ready.
If it was for me for 5 hours a day, and he just kept doing it constantly every day, it wouldn't be long before his ass was outside. You know, just don't come back, ever.
Yeah, I mean, did they get him checked for mental anomalies? Unless the doctor was like, your son has something in his brain.
Whistleitis.
Yeah. If he just was whistling 5 hours a day, I'd be like, look, son, if you don't stop, I'm going to smother you in your sleep. It's a rightful thing. Well, I guess that's it for the news. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for the fucking spit memories. So, where are we from here? Oh, good. So I get to move on to more embarrassing shit. It's actually planned.
This is very Phil heavy today.
All right. Some of you may remember on the Emergency podcast where I kind of gave out little stories that I thought might help some of you younger folk maybe avoid the dating perils. I don't know. It was just embarrassing shit that I was telling for the sake of entertainment. And this is no different. Pardon me. So, without really having a title, I just wrote down Phil's embarrassing moment. There was this chick. Her name rhymes with fancy, so I'm just going to call her Fancy. And she was several years older than me, and at parties and stuff, she always was the social butterfly. She was a very hot redhead, very nice to look at, and she was cool, wise beyond her years, and not a slut, which is always a plus. But at parties and stuff, she'd always have the attention of everybody, boy or girl. And, she always made a point of saying something like, well, you got to understand that boys are always thinking with their penis, or, something to that effect. Sorry, I just had a paranoia that things weren't recording. So everybody, she was like, if the last story, Adam Bausch, I said his name, Adam was, if you can take that out, that'd be great, but I doubt you will. If he was the uber male, this was the uber female. So long story short, at some point, I managed to score a date with her. I think I was 17, because she was a year or two away from being able to legally buy alcohol. So that was a talking point. But, I was surprised. Like, oh, wow, I can't mess that up. Especially since she's like, 90% of the time, men are thinking with their dicks. Again, paraphrasing. We went to see, it was James Bond, the first movie in 6 years, Pierce Brosnan, Goldeneye.
Best Bond ever, might I add.
Yeah. So, it was a fucking big event. 6 years without a Bond movie. Finally having one. We're there at the theater. Me and her. Can't believe my luck.
Nice words.
And she reinforced the whole red hair, feisty thing. Really, within the first 2 minutes of the movie, I might add, it wasn't a midnight screening, but it was a late screening. Somebody had their fucking kid in there, and she stood up. She wasn't very tall or very physically imposing, but she could yell. And I was all like, oh man, she's so cool, yelling at this family and their stupid crying child at the beginning of James Bond. She's the best chick ever. So, movie was awesome. We went to Denny's or whatever fucking diner we went to. And I felt like James Bond. I was just revved up from seeing the movie. Was having good back and forth. And, while we were eating, she said, in effect, that she was having a nice time, which is odd. And then she hit her tagline. She's like, because most men are always thinking with their penis. And I ruined it in one friggin' sentence by saying, most men can't hide it like me. She went red in the face in like 3 seconds. And in retrospect, I know now, not only was she not a slut, she was just generally ignorant of, despite what she was saying, she got my innuendo. I never show your cards, gentlemen. Never show your cards, ever.
It's like tactical warfare.
Oh, that night ended quickly. That night ended quickly. That was that. That was that. Skimbosh's chance of even having a meaningful female friendship. One line. Ruined everything. So, even if you're thinking with your dick, don't ever let them know otherwise.
Solid advice from Wave of Absurdity.
I think some other advice, as long as we're slinging it out here, is that even if you don't have many friends in life, you should, at the very least, find yourself somebody that will be a willing shit transfer partner. I don't have one.
Well, you do, but you don't want me. We're, of course, referring to, what is it, shit transfer, fecal transplants. There you go. We actually do, I mean, if you've been following Wave of Absurdity for a while, you know that we're
interested in fecal news.
Exactly, and I don't know how many podcasts ago, but we gave you an update about fecal transplants and how they had like some sort of doctors were practicing on robots and all sorts of mannerisms.
Robot rectums.
I don't know what they're doing, fingering a robot. But
Number 5 is alive.
We delivered that hard-hitting news to you, and Phil has got an update on the fecal transplant. So the saga continues, people.
Yes. Quick rundown. If you had a particular type of bacteria, which apparently kills, like 40 to 100,000 people a year, if forget the name of it, not mentioned immediately in this article, but one of the only ways to get rid of this bacteria in your gut is to have the bacteria from a healthy donor's fecal matter. So at first, you had to shove poo up your butt, other people's poo up your butt. Then they had an improvement where they could kind of run a tube down your throat into your gut and kind of, send it down that way so you didn't have to get butt-to-butt transfer, which is where Owen thinks he belongs, in a butt-to-butt transfer. If my life depended on a fecal transplant,
What's wrong with being the nice guy and saying, Phil, I would give you ass to ass if you needed it.
Ass-to-ass resuscitation is...
There's nothing wrong with it. Still nothing wrong with it.
I don't know.
Saving a life here. Oh.
What if it was
What's wrong
passed
with you?
back and forth several times? You pooed in my butt, and while we were still connected, I pooed in your butt, and back and forth several times. What are we doing, Owen? What is happening to us? Well, look, let's not delve into that. In fact, let's not delve into...
What an image. God.
Let's not delve into that image, because lo and behold, pill format! Now Owen can shit in capsules for me. And that's how I can take his poo. It's as simple as that. I can put it in a little rolling paper and smoke it up if I want. I can crush it and snort it for instant poo transfer. Technology is here to stay. Poo transfers in your hand in a capsule, time released. You heard it here first. Wave of absurdity. The realest thing you've ever heard.
So, obviously we followed this story since it was fairly young, and they've come a long way in such a short time.
Yeah.
Is this the pinnacle? Is this it?
Not
Or can you see them improving poo transfers?
not until it's artificial and it can be delivered through a mist. A poo mist. You just walk into the doctor
Fucking hell.
and they're like, get ready to inhale. Smells like bacteria.
So would you accept my
Poo
poo
mist?
transfer in any form? Yeah, pill, just straight up poo, or
I would
mist?
take it in a bong format mixed in with sweet berries and other fine blends.
There's something very wrong with you.
What? What? Because I'd want to mix in your shit pills with some nice fine, I don't know, cocoa leaves or some shit? I don't know.
Just think of the MouthPhil you could do with that.
Let's not use MouthPhil and fecal matter in the same segment. Moving on to quick question. Oh, and do you know double Dutch?
Is that to do with like pooing on people's faces?
Two people's faces. No, double Dutch is a type of kids language. Oh, maybe I should have typed in.
It was way off.
Wow.
Was it Dutch oven I'm thinking of? Oh, yeah.
Double Dutch is, of course, a game in which two long jump ropes turning in opposite directions are jumped by one or more players jumping simultaneously. Maybe that's not what I'm thinking of. It's a nonsense language. All right, I don't actually know double Dutch or how it works. The letters of the alphabet follow the usual pattern of the words in double Dutch. All right. I don't know double Dutch, but I don't know the name. I don't know the name of
You
one.
started this segment off, and you don't even know what it does
Well,
or is.
because it's not double Dutch I'm concerned about. It's this language. I'm going to say Owen is a cock in my nonsense language. Op wappinop, I sop a copo cop cop. So if I wanted to say Phil is great, I would say pop hop I lop gop rop yeah. Oh, that's a hard one. Pop hop I lop
It is hard to believe Phil is great.
gop rop ea top.
Yeah.
If you know what that is, please, for the love of God, help me and email in contact@Wave of Absurdity.
Man.
Pop lop eap soppy. Okay. There's a
How
lot
you
of...
feeling, Phil?
I'm Still recovering from my fevered days.
Good. Because it's time for everyone's favorite feature, feeling Phil.
My spirit is broken. Ask me about my spirit.
Hey, Phil.
Hey.
How's your spirit, my friend?
So very broken. You know how broken my spirit is?
Oh, I couldn't imagine it being that broken.
It's not. But it's the only way I can think of getting past this shit segment.
Acting. All right.
Ask me.
We're rushed. We're rushed for time.
Ask
as
me
you can
about
tell.
something else.
It's time for feeling Phil.
How you doing, Owen?
Oh, I'm doing great. But
Good.
that's
Nobody
not
has
the
a segment named Feeling Owen, so fuck off about how you're feeling. Ask me how I'm doing.
Hey, Phil.
How you doing, Owen?
We already established this. Hey, Phil.
Fuck you, Owen.
How's...
Sorry.
All right.
I'm acting. Fuck you, Owen. I'm still acting. Gun! Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Jokes.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, everyone. It's a podcast.
Ask me how I'm feeling.
I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to destroy the segment so we never do it again, but it's not going to work because I'm going to do it really quick. Hey everyone, it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Feeling Phil. Hey Phil, how's your nostrils?
Flaring.
Ah, what a fabulous feature. Time to move on. More of that in 2 weeks' time.
It's a long wait for that.
Lateral Thinking.
Where I lay on my stomach and think.
Of course, the favorite feature of everyone, where we wrap Phil around, I don't know, absurdity and see if he can things.
Absurd.
I've given up.
That's not cool. Your brain's not even sticking around.
Lateral Thinking, the game where I propose to Phil. Phil.
And I accept.
Oh, finally.
Get your words out, peasant.
US citizenship coming my way. So, lateral thinking. It's an absurd question. And usually, but not always, has an absurd answer.
99% of the time.
We propose a tricky question. You can play at home, see if you can get this. We propose this question to Phil. Give him a minute, and in that minute, he is allowed to ask me as many yes or no questions as he can in that minute, and hopefully, you don't have a really good record of this. I think you've...
Because they're all...
I don't know how many we've done. It's been at least 15, 17, around that area,
Dozen.
and he's only gone 2. So, the ratio isn't good for Phil. This... But maybe we can bump that up to 3.
I should have had my pants on.
So here we go. You get a minute after I finish reading this. You are on an island.
Okay.
There is what? You are on an island.
Ta-da.
That is 1 mile long and 100 yards wide. The vegetarian is very dry from a long drought. Suddenly, it catches fire at one end. A strong wind is blowing it towards you, burning the whole width of the island. There's no beach, only sheer cliffs, and the sea is infested with sharks. What do you do?
What? So is the...
You'll die if you jump off the cliffs because they're 300 feet in the air.
Okay, so the gist is there's a wave of fire coming at me and there's nowhere to go.
How do you survive is the question. And your time... Do you want me... The time starts now.
Does it involve hanging from the side of the cliff?
No, your fingers would get burned.
Is the size of the cliff important?
No.
All right, but the fire death is.
Yeah.
The answer is specific to fire, surviving fire.
Yes.
Does it involve not burning or just surviving? Does it involve not burning?
Yes, yeah.
So you don't get
Why
burned
would
at
you
all.
want to burn?
In the solution, do you get burnt at all? Yes or no?
No.
Does it involve leaving the terrain?
No.
So you're on top of the terrain you described
Yes.
in the solution,
Yes.
and you don't get burned,
No.
and you don't jump for some weird amount of time.
Time.
Oh no, you can't chuckle. Half the...
That's all right. No, because I was going to give you another question anyway.
Well, what was the answer to the jump one?
No.
All right.
So you get one more question. Like, where would you jump? How would you...
I don't know. It's a lateral thinking, laddie.
He jumped and he flapped his arms really hard.
My last question is just to confirm that there is no special skill or items required for the solution.
No.
There are none required.
There are no requirements.
So one end of the island, and this is more of a reiteration.
How many questions are
This
we
is a
having
reiteration of the question. One end of the magical suspended island is catching on fire. What's it full of? Read the question again.
Dry vegetation.
All right. I feel like
Leaves,
that's
bushes, trees.
part of the key, because dry vegetation doesn't consume as much oxygen in the fire, and it would just be like hot friggin' coals or whatever, and the fire wouldn't harm you. That's my answer is that the vegetation has something to do with the intensity of the burn, in that there would never be a surface ignited as much to cause you severe harm or death.
All right. Well, I would love to see you stand in a dry wheat field, and set fire to it and see if you come out unscathed.
Didn't say that. Just said dry vegetation.
But there's lots of bushes and what. It's got everything.
Oh, well then.
Anyway, well, what's your? It's all falling apart.
That's my final answer. Let me hear what the internet says.
You are wrong.
Yes, yes.
The tradition continues. The actual... Well, I don't know if there's any other ways to...
The actual answer off the internet is...
But one of the ways to combat this is as follows. I'll
Mud.
read the question. You are on an island that is 1 mile long and 100 yards wide. The vegetation is very dry from a long drought. Suddenly, it catches fire at one end of the island, and a strong wind is blowing it towards you, burning the whole width of the island. There's no beach, only sheer cliffs. How do you survive?
Dive through that motherfucker.
The answer is set fire to the other half of the island and then walk onto the burnt ground. Very simple.
So,
Easy to
essentially what I said, in that you're depriving oxygen, you're creating a firewall or a more controlled fire. So, that's under the assumption that your end, you're capable of setting fire to without burning yourself.
Well,
It's the same logic. Yeah, well then
No,
why
you
can't
just
you
get a-
apply
you just
that?
get a
Why can't you
you get
just
a
walk through
stick.
the fire that's coming to you? Coming towards you.
You get a stick. You set
How
the
do you
stick
start
on
a fire?
Well, the fire's already been started.
So you run towards the fire, get some of that.
With a stick, hold it up like the Statue of Liberty.
Right, get your
run
fire.
like a fucking relay race.
Run back to
and
your
then-
side. Suddenly, you're a fire starter that knows how to do a controlled burn to the point
No, because
where you
you're-
can
you
safely
stand-
get behind that fire line or whatever it's
No,
called.
you stand at the edge of the cliff. You obviously.
Oh,
you know,
so now you can stand at the edge of the cliff.
Yes, but you're not hanging off of it, you idiot.
All right, well, I don't see how that differs from the fire coming from the other side. You have to put
Because you're
yourself
not-
in danger
No,
to
there's
get a log
No,
that's on
because
fire.
your way, you're going through fire. And who does that? Who tries to
So
escape
how do you
fire by
get-
running into it?
You're still going to have to run through your own fire.
No, because the fire's going to be in front of you.
So what's that got to do with anything?
You're never going to be touched with fire.
So you have to set fire behind you, not let it go further, and wait for it to burn out to get in that dead zone.
Oh, we're never doing this feature again.
Well, not with that one. I'm just saying, out of all the lateral thinkings, that one leaves the most open for debate.
It doesn't.
It does. Everybody will agree with me. Email
No.
in at contact@waveofabsurdity.com to let Owen know that he's barking up the
This was
wrong
supposed
tree
to be a
here.
nice podcast.
I'm hungry.
You're not yourself when you're hungry, you know?
Yeah. That's what I have to say about that.
Oh, you've mugged me off.
Huh? What are you going to say to that, pussy? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. We back at nursery.
Why don't you explain what's going on while I grab the cake scraps?
Well, it's everyone's favorite feature,
Extended.
aside
somehow.
from every other feature that we have. MouthPhil.
All right, this is a little something I saw on Facebook. If you can pronounce correctly every word in this poem, you will be speaking English better than 90% of the native English speakers in the world. After trying the verses, a Frenchman said he'd prefer 6 months of hard labor to reading 6 lines aloud. I'm going to be eating cake scraps and attempting
What the hell is cake scraps?
the parts of a cake not used. Didn't I already told you what the cake scraps were. Why are you asking?
I was doing it for the listeners.
No.
Acting.
For cake scraps?
Yeah, who knows? Oh, cake scraps? What the hell is that? Is that some sort of erotic, exotic food?
Why is it erotic and exotic all of a sudden?
Oh, no, it could be a penis.
All right. My wife was making a cake. Is this just because you want to talk about emergency cakes? My wife, as a favor to a friend, a neighbor, made a cake really quickly last night, and she had to carve a dragonfly, pieces of a dragonfly to put together. So out of 2 cakes, she did all her carving. That left all the scraps. She's like, I'm going to just throw this out. Whoa, little lady, what do you mean throw it out? So I have cake scraps.
You're like a feral child.
Well,
Just-
no, because she wasn't
What
going to
are
eat
you doing?
it. But why would you throw away perfectly good cake? So, now there's some
Do they
words.
transport the cake?
There's words in here. I don't know what they mean. I don't know if I'm going to get through the whole thing because it's kind of long. Maybe I'll just go fast. So, yeah, a link will be up. If anyone asks, I'll be more than happy to post it. Here we are. Dearest Creature, in creation, study English pronunciation. I will teach you in my verse. Sounds like corpse, and worse. I will keep you, Susie, busy. Make your head with heat grow dizzy. Tear and I, your dress will tear. So shall I. Oh, hear my prayer. Just compare heart, beard, and herd. Dies and diet, lord and word. Sword and sword, retain in Britain. Mind the latter is how it's written. Now I surely will not plague you with such words as plague and ague. But be careful how you speak. Say break and stake, but bleak and streak. Cloven, oven, how and low. Script, receipt, show, poem, and toe. Can be saved, devoid of trickery. Retire after to shippery. Typhoid, measles, topsails, isles. Exile, similes, and reviles. Scholar, vicar, and cigar. Solar, mica, war, and far. One, anemone, balmoral, kitchen, lichen, laundry, laurel. Gertrude, German, wind and mine, seen, melpomene, mankind. Billet does not rhyme with ballet, bouquet, wallet, mallet, chalet. Blood and flood are not like food, nor is mud like should and would. Vicious, viscount, load and broad, toward, to forward, to reward. And your pronunciation's okay when you correctly say croquet. Rounded, wounded, grieve and sieve. Friend and feed, alive and live. Ivy, privy, flameth clamor, and enamor rhyme with hammer. River, rival, tomb, bomb, comb. Doll and roll and summon home. Stranger does not rhyme with anger, neither does devour with clangor. Souls but fool, foul, haunt but amp, font, front, won't, want, grand and grant.
Yes.
Shoes goes does. Now first they finger, and then singer, ginger, linger. Real, zeal, mauve, gauze, gals and gaze. Marriage, foliage, mirage and a. Query does not rhyme with very, nor does fury sound like berry. Doth, lost, post, and doth. Cloth, loth. Job, knob, bosom, transom, oath. Though the differences seem little, we say actual but victual. Refer does not rhyme with defer. Fofer does not, and zephyr heifer. Mint, punt, senate, and sedate, dull bull, and George ate late. Scenic, Arabic, Pacific, science, conscience, and scientific. Oh, fuck. I'm all fucked up.
And you had like 300 paragraphs to go.
Yeah, that's half. Oh, so much cake.
I think you like purposely stuffed your I would fail instantly. Stuffed your mouth full of so much cake that we couldn't even hear you pronunciate the word, so we couldn't call you. On all your mispronunciations.
Well, the world will never know.
Well, they will. Did you do that?
Well, I stuffed my face because it's MouthPhil.
Oh, when do you ever put so much commitment in MouthPhil anymore?
Oh, it's because it's fresh cake. Well,
I didn't see you with this so much energy when it was ice cubes.
if you want to Vocaroo, that'd be something to do there. Pick a few lines. It goes on much, much longer. Very maddening. Delicious.
So the poll is still up. If you want to vote on the master debater, which we will get to in 2 more weeks. So lots of time to vote. I'm currently winning.
Listen to the old episodes. Email in about anything.
I'm sure Phil is not going to even vote, and then he's going to start complaining again. Oh, I didn't vote. The poll
I
is
posted
still
my
open."
screenshot.
You're talking nonsense. You're talking nonsense. How would you rate this episode?
Out of?
I don't know. 12 and a
A
half.
scale of 12 and a half?
12 and a half.
12
yeah.
and a half. 6.5. I think we brought it, even though we don't know.
Oh,
All right.
you hear that? That's the timer.
Unbelievable. Well, our friendship has emerged such that we know exactly how long we will talk. Kinda neat.
We're sorry that you didn't get a proper full episode of all the favorite features, but 2 weeks, you build the anticipation, right?
I thought you were going to be like, we're sorry, the podcast has ended now. Please end your listening devices and return to your schooling or transportation. Or
Bye,
shitting.
everyone.
You could be shitting. Let's not forget that. A lot of people listen to podcasts
Who listens to podcasts
while
shitting?
they're shitting.
Nobody does that.
While they're
Nobody does that.
pooping. Fecal matter
Nobody-
is coming
why?
out of your butt while listening to us.
All right.
Owen, somebody while listening to us was having poo come out of their anus. Quality podcasting.
I would argue with you, but I got a lot to do.
In the bathroom.
Goodbye, everyone.
I'm stopping my recording now.
Enjoy these outtakes.
We have outtakes? Boy, you know you did a good podcast when your partner tells you suddenly that there's outtakes.
So just like last podcast, we have some outtakes for you, so please enjoy.
I'm stopping.
Here's some crazy outtakes.
Hey everybody, do you like outtakes? Let's listen to some outtakes. Everybody loves outtakes. We purposely remove them from the podcast so we can put them at the end as outtakes.
Set 1 hour countdown.
Okay, your timer is set for 1 hour.
Hello, I purchased the K app for my phone. Well, thank you, Monique, for not just...
Fluffy do good. I don't like it. I want to start again.
Sorry, I don't like it. Start from where?
Again.
From where?
The beginning.
The podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. God damn it. I was feeling good about that.
I wasn't at all.
All right. All right. All right. Am I stopping the recording and doing a new one?
No,
All
we'll keep going. I like the intro. I'm going to do it again.
So, all right. So we're starting over, but you like the intro, but we're still doing that part again.
We're doing the intro again.
3.
You need to do a fake, you know. I'm like, oh, it's okay.
Okay.
Right, acting.
For what part?
Just go.
Just to know. So wait. Here's your fucking episode notes, Phil. We're redoing. Here's your notes. Note 1. Just be gay. Go. 3,
Yes.
2, 1. 3, 2. Well, it's already started. Just go whenever.
Set 1 hour countdown.
My web search turned this up.
Fuck it.
Wow. I didn't think it was possible for anything you have to be more annoying than O'Neill, but wow.
Okay.
3. Get your shit together, 2.
It's because I didn't pronunciate properly. All right.
3, 2. God praise everyone. 1.
Set 1 hour countdown.
Done. I love a good countdown.
He's never said that before.